Your guy, Daniel Penny, the ex-Marine turned killer. In fact, the man who was an ex-Marine, he served our country, never killed anyone. He didn't kill anyone until he went back to New York and saw a homeless man on the train talking loud. Then he got afraid. All that time he spent fighting the war on terror. Never afraid, only afraid in New York on the subway. Some people say that's part of the problem. I say you a punk ass if you get afraid of a guy on the subway train where you gotta choke him to death. But here we are today with the update on the story. So Daniel Penny goes to court today because he has new charges. The DA, I guess, decided, hey, we don't want to just ride with the second-degree murder charge or manslaughter, second-degree manslaughter charge. Let's make sure we got some wiggle room, a fallback position. There's this charge called criminally negligent homicide. So let's talk about criminally negligent homicide and know the difference. Well, let's say you're speeding to your girlfriend's house because you think there's a man at her house that shouldn't be there. And you want to catch him in the act because, well, you need closure because you're a wimp. So you're driving through and you're blowing past stop signs. And while you're blowing past stop signs, mentally distraught, you hit someone. You not only hit him, you kill him. You can be charged with criminally negligent homicide because what you were doing made you negligent. Your preoccupation with trying to get to your girl's house like a wimp to cry on her doorstep meant you were not paying attention to the road and you hit someone and you killed him. Daniel Penny pleaded not guilty to that today. He pleaded that what he did was not criminally negligent. What he did was fine. It's what happens when you're protecting American citizens. So Daniel Penny's denied that he's committed second-degree manslaughter, and today he denies that he committed criminally negligent homicide. What's an example of a second-degree manslaughter? Let's say you and your friends are sitting around drinking beers and you're playing with a loaded gun. Because that's what you do. You're a moron, you play with loaded guns. You're playing with a loaded gun and bam, it goes off. And for some reason, it doesn't hit you, but it hits your friend. That, my friend, would get you a charge of second-degree manslaughter because you were reckless. You were just willy-nilly just playing with loaded guns. Now, I say that what Daniel Penny did was the second one, the second-degree manslaughter, because Daniel Penny knew what he was doing. Any moron should know you don't play with loaded guns, and Daniel Penny should know you don't play with chokeholds. Daniel Penny's actions were reckless. They weren't just negligent. He didn't just make a mistake. He knew what he was doing. You go to the Marines, you're trained as a Marine, you perform as a Marine, you know the hold of Marines, you know the tactics that they use in combat, and then you use that tactic in combat for several minutes and you kill a man on the subway train. He didn't die at the emergency room, he died right there on the floor of that dirty-ass subway. Choked to death, just like his mama was killed when he was 14 years old. Choked to death. And this time, it's by a Marine that people are saying is a hero because Joe Danelli was a person going through a mental health crisis and he was a jackass on the subway. That don't give you the right to kill him. The other thing about this that's a real slap in the face is that New York offered this guy this opportunity. He could have pled guilty to the criminal negligent homicide and just been away with it. I mean, it's 4 years. He'll do 1.5 for 18 months or a halfway house, or maybe they'll take him out for dinner first. You know, take him out to get Burger King or something. I mean, what's 4 years? You won't do 4 years. You're a white guy. You're an ex-Marine. You're a killer now, but you're still an ex-Marine. America loves you. What more could you do? Nothing, hardly anything. But Penny's so arrogant and high on his high horse, and he's listening to all the QAnons and all the Trump supporters and DeSantis supporters who really love Daniel Penny to the tune of millions of dollars of donations. That he don't feel that he need to take the charge where he made a mistake. Nah, he feels he could just walk away from this without any penalties at all. In fact, if anybody owes anybody anything, the state of New York owes him because he's trying to clean up New York. Second-degree manslaughter is a lesser charge than I would really want to. It's 15 years. And it's not because I want people to go into our justice system. Our justice system is horrible. But what I hate more than our justice system is guys like Daniel Penny killing unarmed black men in the subway for being obnoxious. You know, all the Karens that we see in all these videos who are being very obnoxious. What if we decided to do that? Would you also believe that we were afraid of them? That's why we had to do it? We had to take them out because we were so afraid for our lives? These people think that Daniel Penny, the ex-Marine, the 6'1", physically in shape, was somehow so afraid of the emaciated homeless person that was 5'4", that he had to do it. I think it's all a bunch of nonsense. I think we have people that are frustrated with their lives, and they're trolls, and they're morons. They don't care about the rule of law. They don't understand the law until it's time for them to go to jail. Another reason why I want Daniel Penny to go to jail is because he said things that make me troubled. Yeah, Daniel Penny doesn't believe he did anything wrong. In fact, he said if he was in a similar situation, he'd do the same thing again. Meaning, he ain't learned nothing. He don't have to learn anything. He's an ex-Marine white guy that people love, and they gave him millions of dollars for doing what he did. What's there to learn? He should do this more often, and that's what I'm afraid of. You're setting a precedence. Also, Daniel Penny said he wasn't sorry. He'd do it again. And he felt what he did was right. And he felt he had to do it. And this is so much BS I'm going to allow you to say to my face. And I feel like Daniel Penny is spreading BS and saying it right in our faces. He's putting it in our faces. He's going out, he's interviewing, he's putting it in our face. And he's saying, what I did was right. I had to do it. And all the Danny supporters, none of them could tell me one person that Jordan nearly hurt, that he hurt on that subway train. You can't talk about what he did before. You can only talk about what happened that day on that subway train. That's the way the law works. So what do you think is going to happen? Is Daniel Penny going to be held accountable for his actions? Or is he going to get off scot-free? I'll be covering it right here on Tim Black's The Black Table for TBTV Networks. I'm Tim Black.
Thanks for watching, and please share this content with your friends and family. Your support is appreciated.